year was a 42-year-old washed quarterback.
Cowboys got him again, guys.
Cowboys will be good. I think Cowboys will be good.
Gotta talk some NBA. Season's winding down. Things are getting fun now. Russ playing well last night, 34 points, but came short of a triple-double, and the Wizards lost. So, Nick, who did make your medal stand this morning?
Well, listen, good for Russ, but bad loss for the Wizards, good win for the Hawks. And, you know, little known fact, there were NBA games and NBA news last night. We'll cover it right here. Damian Lillard. Wild said Dame's going to carry him to wins. 1-0 since Wild said it. 30 points, 6 assists in a critical win for the Blazers. They get one more win in their final 2. They lock up, avoiding the play-in. Silver medalist. Oh, look who's on the medal stand. Is that Kevin Love? That is Kevin Love.
Time?
30 points, 14 rebounds. Now, granted, he was playing a truly awful team that needs to be ripped down to the studs in the Boston Celtics, but still. Great win by the Cavs. How do you lose to the Cavs, Boston? Get it together. Oh, Luka! Oh, look at Luka. A critical win, 33-8-8. The Mavs also now just one win away from guaranteeing they won't be in the play-in game and trying to put the Lakers down there.
Oh, they beat the struggling
33-8-8. But most importantly, 0 technicals. Promised you, America. Luka's not going to get that dreaded 16 technical. We had a nice talk about it.
So there it is.
There's your medal stand from last night.
Good job.
That's why. Wilds, who just missed the cut, buddy?
Oh, well, there he is. What the heck? Did you play in that? You played with that cool diamond necklace? What in the world? You got a diamond ring on? Because Nicholas, I thought LeBron was coming back against Julius Randle. And then Woj is like, nah, looks like he needs another day. And I was like, all right, probably going to come back against the Rockets. No. So I know in your ultimate confidence, you are not worried. Should I be worried that I've now been psyched out twice on when this guy is actually returning?
It's not looking good for your boys.
He returned.
Not a return.
James Harden's done. They had lost once in 15 months. One game. I'm going to throw out the Week 17 game where nobody played. They were far and away the best team in football last year. And Wilds, people can say, oh, it's a difficult path. Last year, they played every playoff team you could possibly play, most of them on the road, and beat them all. So, who has the clearer path? The team that's clearly better. I give the Bucks get the banner hangs forever, the ring shines forever. I get it. But last year, over the entirety of the season, the Chiefs were the better team. And this year, the Chiefs go into the season the far better team. And again, it's not they won the Super Bowl and they dominated the Super Bowl. And I'm happy for them. But so did the 07 Giants. And the 07 Giants were not better than the 07 Patriots. They were just better that day. And so they just weren't. Come on. And so who has a clearer path? The Chiefs have a clearer path.
I agree.
My goodness.
And Nicholas, I have an olive branch to give you. It's part of our budding friendship.
What's that?
It's a confession and an apology. Last year, when the Chiefs were coming off their Super Bowl victory, I kept on saying, are you worried about the Super Bowl hangover? And you would always say, Wilds, the Super Bowl hangover does not apply to the Super Bowl champions. It applies to the team that loses the Super Bowl. And I always pretended I had some sort of malfunction in my earpiece that I didn't hear you. I knew that. I knew it the entire time.
Yeah.
I was just trying to sort of get you mad. But now they are the Super Bowl hangover team. Are you worried at all about the statistical fact that the true Super Bowl hangover, the team that loses the Super Bowl, comes back and has a disappointing year?
Here's why I'm not. What's the team over the last 20 years that lost the Super Bowl and came right back and won it? The Patriots. Why? Because the year before they had won it. Because the Super Bowl hangover is for a team. It's like, this is the best year we've ever had. We came so close, and oh my God, now we have to climb that mountain. It has a different psychological effect if it's a team that has already climbed that mountain, planted its flag, and then it's just like, this is our mountain. We actually get here every year. And so, no, I don't think a team that has, since Mahomes has been there, the worst year they've had was the AFC Championship game, and the other 2 years were the Super Bowl. I don't think they're going to have a Super Bowl hangover. But, Brandon, because I heard you while I was talking, I have an honest question. Do you think that because the Bucs are the same team as last year, that's like in a good way, right? The first Super Bowl champion, they bring everybody back. Do you think that Super Bowl plays out the same way if the Chiefs in that Super Bowl have the offensive line they're bringing to the season this year? The totally rebuilt, all-pro, in theory, healthy offensive line? Because I don't. So that's another reason why we know what the Bucs are. They made no changes. Right, but I'm talking about projecting for this year. If they were right, we know what the Bucs are. The Chiefs.
We call that. We call that after football, and Peter King, he coined it as Monday morning quarterback.
Monday morning quarterback.
Like everything you described about the Bucs run to the Super Bowl is exactly what happened for the Chiefs in 2020. You guys were down against the Texans. Deshaun Watson should have put y'all away, and then there was the game after that, and then even in the Super Bowl, y'all were trailing Jimmy Garoppolo, 20-10 in the third quarter, and Patrick Mahomes came back and he pulled it out. So everything you described about the Bucs is exactly how you guys won your Super Bowl. So we can talk all these shoulda, coulda, wouldas, and all these what ifs all we want, but at the end of the day, it's about when the clock hit zero, what happened. And when you look at this schedule right now, Nick, so we don't deflect and we don't get off track. When you look at this schedule, you guys have a hard schedule, and then the Bucs have an easy schedule with everybody coming back. But here's the deal, and this is the reality of it. Man, the Kansas City Chiefs, they're awesome. Everybody else, the Green Bay Packers, the Chargers, the Steelers, the Broncos, all these teams, the Baltimore Ravens, the Cleveland Browns, all these teams have to play their best game to beat them. So it's going to be interesting, but in the NFL, it's about attrition.
That's right.
Where are these guys going to be standing week after week after week? Because both of these teams are going to be right where they need to be if they're healthy, Jenna. We're probably going to see, a run back on the Super Bowl.
Put the Chiefs' schedule back up. I'm just curious. Nick, take us through the Chiefs' schedule. Because we joked at the top of the show, you think they're going undefeated. But I'm just curious. Can you take us through the Chiefs' schedule? If you guys put that back up a second.
Yeah, and maybe even before as we put up the Chiefs' schedule, let's take what we know. Let's talk about the Chiefs with Mahomes in September. So you see in the first 3 weeks of the season in September, they play the three best quarterbacks in the AFC, Baker, Lamar, and Justin Herbert. What do we know about Mahomes in September? Can't be beaten. 32 touchdowns, 0 picks, 10-0, 124 passer rating. Literally cannot be beaten in September. So now we can go back to that schedule. So you play the three best quarterbacks in the AFC, and I said that correctly, Baker, Lamar, and Justin Herbert. That's 3 tough games, but it's in September, so you can't lose them. We've seen the Chiefs play the Bills and Josh Allen, played them twice last year, beat them soundly both times. So I'm looking, and am I going to say, the Chiefs are going to go undefeated? No, that would be ridiculous. But I have projected it out, so let's just show America. I can find one loss, America. Right before the bye week, a 10-0 fat and happy Chiefs team takes on the Dallas Cowboys. Hey, oh my goodness gracious, how could the Chiefs only lose one game? Well, they lost one game last year until they rested everyone in Week 18. Why do I not have them losing Week 18 this year? Well, because you're playing the Broncos. They haven't lost to the Broncos in 2,000 days, and it's the Broncos. So they're not, even if they can play whoever they want. They can bring Brody Croyle back out of retirement. They'll be able to beat the Broncos. Right before the bye week, 10-0, clearly the best team in football. You look past the Cowboys a bit. Dak has a big game against the Chiefs secondary. Well, I'd love it. I mean, we can. Last year, I think I had them going 14-2.
I'm not even going to entertain
They ended up going 14-2.
Entertaining
the losses. Just tell me the losses.
I'm not going to entertain this, but what I will bring up is this. Earlier in the show, we talked about, what game you're interested in watching, and you said what? The Bucs versus the Cowboys. I think you brought that up. And you got the Cowboys, you have the Cowboys beating the Bucs, right? And now
Yes.
you have your
Yes.
team losing to the Cowboys.
The Cowboys.
So
yeah.
are you again
That's
saying that
confirmed.
the Cowboys are going to be good? Because you picked them last year to make it to the Super Bowl. So are you again going to
we
be a
never
blind
know.
believer in the
If
Cowboys?
Dak didn't get hurt, who knows?
Well, let us know.
Hey,
you're
last
telling
year,
us right now.
Last year, who knows what would have happened? Dak got his ankle broken, so maybe they would have made the Super Bowl. Who knows? NFC was a little soft. I don't know if you know who won the Super Bowl last year. It was a 42-year-old washed quarterback.
Cowboys got him
so, yeah,
again,
I think
guys.
Cowboys will be good. I think Cowboys will be good.
God talks to me.